Yes. Come on, the boys. Oh, pardon me. Tottenham are safe. Tottenham survive on the final day of the season. 1-0 home win against Everton at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I think it was our third win at our home ground all season. And what a time for it to come. What a time for us to really put on a performance that just showed like true just passion and fight for the badge. For that right there. And boy, was I on pins and needles for most of that game because Spurs started off good, controlled the tempo of the game, controlled the pace of the game. Put that aside. And yeah, like they seemed just in control of the game. Everton seemed a bit maybe on the beach or just not at it. And things were looking good. And then in the other match, West Ham and Leeds, it was 0-0. So things were looking good, you know. And then closer to the end of the first half, you have a corner come in. Tottenham get Paulinho gets his head to it. There's a bit of a bounce going on. Paulinho barely gets it over the line. He bundles it over the line to the point where it was pulled back almost right away. And then Kevin Danso just off his knee and put it in the back of the net. But Paulinho's initial strike put it behind the line. So it was his goal. And boy, has he scored a lot of big goals for us this season. Like, yeah, I get he's more like a hold-in midfielder, defensive, cement mixer type of, just get down in the mud and roll around. But he has scored some big goals for us, especially in this run. And obviously the goal against Everton, just this past Sunday, the goal against Wolves really saved us. Like that really saved us. And yeah, like it was just like a performance in that first half that was just controlling. Now in the second half, we took our foot off the pedal a bit, right? We still created a few more chances here and there. There's times where Everton took a bit of a foothold, but like besides a late incredible save from Tony Kinski, who I'll get into in a bit, Everton didn't really create much, which is a relief because on the other side of London, West Ham were 3-0 up at one point against Leeds. So all Spurs needed was 10 bad minutes, and it could have been curtains for us. But thankfully, that didn't happen. Thankfully, Spurs survived. And when that full-time whistle went, I pumped my hand. I pumped my fists. Big sigh of relief. And it was more relief than celebration. I know a lot of Spurs fans and Spurs players are catching flack because we celebrated surviving 17th. But like, two things on that. When it's been as bad of a season as it's been, and you survive on the last day, you're gonna be relieved. You're gonna be happy. You're gonna just all that emotion, that emotional dump that comes out of you. Like, of course, it's gonna be something that you're excited about and that you celebrate, and you just want to all that frustration that Spurs fans have had all season. They're able to just let it out in a positive way, right? So, I don't see what all the hoopla was about Spurs fans being excited about surviving relegation. And the other thing, whether people want to admit it or not, the entire country was willing Spurs to go down. Everybody wanted Spurs to go down. And I'm not even bitter about that. I get it. Let's flash forward 12 months, or just under 12 months. If a Chelsea or a Liverpool or another Big Six club are in the same mess that we were, Spurs fans would probably be willing that team to go down, and probably bitter and resentful when it doesn't happen. So the bitterness and resentfulness from other fans, I get. It's football culture. It's tribal warfare. So, and you know what? We did have a bad season, so we're gonna have to take a few shots in the chin and take our medicine. Like that's life, right? But the scenes at full time were absolutely euphoric. Just and one thing I wanted to mention about the scenes at full time was there was a shot of Roberto De Zerbi, and he was just looking at this sea of white jerseys, singing "Oh, when the Spurs," like the slow version, and he could see it in his eyes. It's like it clicked. This is a big club. This is a big club with a lot of potential, and I know the term's been used a lot, but this is a sleeping giant, and he could see it in his eyes. Like, wow. If we could get this right, this could be something special. And I truly believe that. Like, Spurs aren't some small tin pot club. Like, they're a big club. They have money. They can attract players. They have an amazing training ground. They have an amazing stadium. Everything's in place for us to really, really, like, take a step up to being, like, a European giant. Now, it's going to take time. It's going to take a few seasons to really, like, tear it all down and rebuild it up. But like, there's something there, and you could see in Roberto De Zerbi's eyes, like, he realized, like, fuck, like, this could be something special. This could be something special. And it all starts with him. It all starts with him. He came in with about 6 games left, right? And even after that Brighton game when we conceded late and it was a draw, he said, we could win the next 5. Now, we didn't win the next 5, right? Out of 15 points, we got 10, which is like, if you stretch that out over the course of an entire season, that you're probably finishing 5th or 6th, right? So you're finishing in Champions League or Europa League spot, where personally next season, I think Spurs, we could finish in the Europa League spot, Conference League spot. I think the Champions League might be a hurdle too high to jump next season. Being that we've had 2 17th place seasons and a lot of players coming back from injury, so like it's not just going to be like Manchester United went from 15th to 3rd, and that was absolutely fantastic from them. I just don't. There's if the scum's going to want to retain their title, City's going to want to get back in the mix, Liverpool's going to want to get back in the mix. The Chelsea ownership won't allow another season like they just had. Villa is on the come up, so, and congratulations to them for winning the Europa League. But Villa is on the come up, so like it's gonna be tough to crack those top 5, top 6, probably even top 7 spots. But like there is something there, and it starts with De Zerbi, just the attitude and the energy he brought to the team. Like before he came in, like we looked destined for relegation. Like the players had no confidence, they had no belief, and De Zerbi came in, and it was like he was half coach, half therapist. He just got into those players' heads and said, "Fuck the noise. Like you guys are good fucking players. You don't play in the Premier League and play at this level if you're dog meat." And like he convinced them, like you guys have what it takes to put the players who were available at him, at least. You guys have what it takes to put this club on your back and take them over to the line. And like he deserves full credit and full backing. Like the board has come out, Vinay Venkateshan, the Lewis family has finally come out and made a statement. There's been like 3 or 4 statements that's come out from the club or people associated with the club in the past few days since Sunday, all about taking accountability and this is never going to happen again and things are going to get better. I'm not going to comment too much on it because I'll believe it when I see it. Actions speak louder than words. Like, put your money where your mouth is and like really back this guy. I'm not saying I'm not be like, oh, here's such and such player from Brentford, right? It's like, if like let De Zerbi target his 4 or 5 or 6 players that he thinks he needs and do whatever you can to get them. Obviously, you're not going to get every single player he wants, but figure out the type of player he wants, like the mold of the player he wants, the type of player he wants, the role the player plays. Figure out what he wants, and then go for the best player you guys could get in set position. Right? Don't go for let's go for the young kid from the Swedish division. Let's go for some young up and comer from Belgium. Like let's really crack on and give him all the support in the world because he could do something special. Like let's look, in my opinion, at the three players who really, really deserve, in my opinion, all the credit for pulling us over the line. These three players, I think, really took Tottenham on their back and carried us over the line. And I think it's all down to De Zerbi's coaching. And in no particular order, number 3, Rodrigo Bentancur. When Bentancur came back from his injury, we just had a bit more control and a bit more like stability in the middle of the park. We controlled games better. We controlled pace better. And I think that just came down to letting Bentancur do what he does best and just, get on the ball, spray it around a bit, dictate tempo. And yeah, like everything just seemed to be a bit more calmer and relaxed with him in the midfield. Another midfielder who I'll give number 2 to is Paulinho, like I said earlier, with his huge goals. Like he scored a lot of big goals. He seems to be our best goddamn goal scorer, and yet, he's a defensive midfielder. But like big tackles, like constantly just getting his head on a ball or his foot on a ball or, making a tackle, constantly just cheering up the crowd, even something slight like a block shot. He was just pumping his fist and cheered everybody up and just trying to get everybody up to a level, right? And to me, he showed a lot of leadership skills. And I know he's a lone player from Bayern Munich, but he's somebody, if we at the right price, I'd bring back. And because he's the type of player, no, do you want him starting every game playing 90 minutes? No. But he's exactly the type of player you need in the dressing room who's going to hold the rest of the team to a certain standard. And my number 1, Anthony Kinski, Big Tony Kinski. The hole he would have been in after that Madrid game would have been deep, it would have been dark, it would have been lonely. And he didn't cry about it, he didn't whinge about it, he didn't make any excuses. He got up, he dug his hands in the wall and pulled himself out of that hole, out of that deep, dark, lonely hole himself. He pulled himself out, got out, and yeah, probably had a few scratches and some dirt under his hands, but he didn't give a shit. He kept quiet and he just played, and he made big save after big saves. You can tell the back line was just a bit more calm and assured with him behind him. He's a much better distributor of the ball than Vicario, who I know Vicario's been catching a lot of strays. I still kind of like Vicario. Maybe me, I'm more of based everything on emotions, and because he made those big saves in Bilbao last May, to me, he's a club hero. That's how I look at Vicario. I know we definitely need to upgrade on him, but he's been catching a lot of strays since his injury, because I think it showed that he probably wasn't up to it when it comes to being a starter for a team who wants to be further up the table. And the defense just seemed to maybe a bit shaky in front of him. But Tony Kinski, he just seemed to control the back line better. He controlled the box better on corners and set pieces. He took control. He studied the. He kept steady. He every single time a ball came to the box, if he was close enough, he'd get his hands to it. He just made a lot of big saves and a lot of key moments to keep us in games. And if it wasn't for him, I think we'd be down. He 100% deserves to be on this team next season. And I can see big things from him. Whether he's going to be a number 1 or a number 2 for us next season, I guess we'll have to see what kind of players are available for us in the transfer market and see if there's any opportunity to bring in a top-tier goalkeeper. But like I wouldn't be throwing myself off a bridge if Tony Kinski is our number one next season. Like, cause the kind of character he showed to come back from that adversity is, again, like Paulina, you need these type of characters and these type of people in the locker room. Like, this season has been an absolute disaster. Like, there's moments I just fucking hated all these cunts. And it's been nice to listen to all the podcasts the past couple of weeks and just that sense of relief and that sense of like, thank Christ, right? And no one's really celebrating as in, woo! Everybody's just realizing, okay, we got through this. Shit needs to change. And I'm hoping that, like, De Zerbi gets back to the moon. Because next season, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be an easy season. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of teams chasing down the scum. So the scum's going to want to get stronger. All the teams chasing them down are going to get stronger. You saw teams like Brighton get into Europe, Sunderland get into Europe, Brentford just missed out. Like, a lot of these middle of the table teams and lower of the table teams, everyone's leveling up. Like, there's no, it's a cliche, but there's no easy game in the Premier League. Even Wolves turned it around a bit come the end of the season, right? But like, there's no easy games. I mean, like, Brentford away, it's not an easy 3 points, you know? Having Brighton come to your patch is not an easy 3 points. Sunderland made it difficult for teams all season. They struggled a bit near the end, but they got over the line. They got a Europa League spot, but they made it difficult on teams all season. Villa, in my opinion, Unai Emery, like, dollar for donut, considering like the type of players you have and the type of resources you can bring in, probably dollar for donut is probably the best coach in the league. I mean, what would he do if he had the exact same squad that the Scum had, or the exact same squad that City had, right? So like, Villa's gonna be a dark horse to win that title next season. So it's gonna be a long, hard road to try to crawl back up that ladder. But I got faith in De Zerbi. I don't have any faith in the board until they show something. But until then, I'm just gonna put my faith in De Zerbi and hope that Spurs finally realize, like, this can't happen again. Like, it was too close for comfort. We got out by the skin of our nutsack, and this can never happen again. Like, if this doesn't wake up the board, if this doesn't wake up Enoch, if this doesn't wake up the Lewis family, then we deserve to go down and be shot, because like this was unexcusable. Like this is bullshit, to the point where it's like, I'm just glad the season's over. I want to take a bit of a break from it. Like, part of me just doesn't want to hear or see Tottenham at all for a while, and just take a couple weeks off from football and just relax. And then once the World Cup comes, just enjoy that. I'll be cheering for Canada and Portugal. Maybe I'll put out a couple videos during that. Who knows? And I'll probably put out a few videos over the summer, just talking about summer transfer stuff. But besides that, I think I just need to take a little bit of a break to decompress some Spurs, because they nearly killed me. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you want, subscribe, comment, criticize, hit the notification bell, all that shit that people tell you to do at the end of YouTube videos. And yeah, come on, you Spurs.